Just imagine this scenario. You've recently purchased a brand new luxury car boasting over 4 years of warranty coverage. However, 2 years into ownership, you learn that the company has ceased production. What would your reaction be? This is precisely the situation unfolding currently, and it demands attention because it could potentially escalate further. While certain Chinese automakers are making significant strides in the automotive industry, particularly in the electric vehicle sector, with companies like BYD emerging as leaders. BYD, one of China's premier automakers, has even surpassed Tesla as the foremost EV manufacturer, consistently outselling them in the battery-powered vehicle market. The exponential expansion of electric vehicle manufacturers in China raises questions, particularly as the number of registered EV makers surged from just a few to over 500 in 2019, surpassing that of any other country in the world. What do you anticipate in such a nation? Intense competition. This competition has significant ramifications, and the particular impact we're addressing today stems from this fierce rivalry. This is how it all began. The Chinese government initiated a push for increased adoption of electric vehicles, supported by offering subsidies to consumers in China. Between 2009 and 2022, the Chinese government allocated over 200 billion yuan, $28 billion, towards tax breaks and EV subsidies. The subsidies provided to electric vehicle manufacturers include the following. All-electric plug-in cars with a range of over 400 kilometers are eligible for subsidies of $2,000. Those with a range of 300 to 400 kilometers qualify for subsidies of $1,400 and so forth. Consequently, the sales of new electric vehicles in China surged by 82%, representing nearly 60% of EV sales worldwide. This achievement propelled China into first place, surpassing both Germany and Japan in EV sales. After the emergence of new EV makers in China, a rapid decline ensued, marked by various challenges. This downturn resulted in the reduction of the 500 registered EV manufacturers to 400 almost immediately, after the Chinese government terminated the 11-year subsidy scheme for EV purchases in 2022. According to a report by China Business News in September, 15 electric vehicle startups expected to collectively produce 10 million cars annually, either collapsed or were significantly impacted by the price war initiated by major EV manufacturers. The intense competition for market share prompted EV makers to slash the prices of their vehicles, igniting a protracted price war initiated by Tesla in 2023 and subsequently joined by BYD. During the price war, experts speculated that only EV manufacturers capable of producing more than 500,000 electric vehicles would be able to turn a profit. This meant that any other EV maker caught up in the price war would inevitably suffer substantial losses for the year. The price war has had a significant impact on various aspects of the automotive industry. Typically, premium brands of internal combustion engine vehicles in China need to achieve annual sales of 200,000 vehicles to turn a profit, while local brands aim for 300,000 sales for profitability. However, due to the price war, this threshold has surged to 500,000 units. For many small EV manufacturers, reaching this new profit target has become nearly impossible. The cost of batteries which power the cars and the sophisticated smart technology used in electric vehicles cannot be easily reduced overnight. Only major players like Tesla, Li Auto, BYD, and GACIN have managed to either meet or come close to the new profit target of 500,000 EVs. One popular Chinese EV maker that recently shut down is Hi-Fi, also known as Human Horizon. The company terminated almost all of its workers and ceased production of their vehicles at its sole factory in Yanqing, North Shanghai. In the days leading up to the shutdown, rumors circulated about the company facing financial challenges. Shortly before the official announcement, Hi-Fi responded by stating that they would delay the January payment of salaries, cancel the year-end payment bonus for 2023, and lower the salaries of senior officials. Hi-Fi announced that it has suspended operations in its luxury brand for 6 months, with no definite reopening date specified until further notice. According to a memo sent to employees, those who remain with the company from February 18 to March 18 will receive 70% of their salary. The Hi-Fi luxury brand is owned by Human Horizons, renowned for selling futuristic cars with cutting-edge technology in China and Europe. One of their notable models is the Hi-Fi Z, which recently competed against 23 other electric cars in a Norwegian extreme cold test. It recorded an impressive 324-mile driving range, surpassing competitors such as the Tesla Model 3, Mercedes EQE, BMW i5, Kia EV9, and NIO ET5 Touring. The Hi-Fi X, a luxury car similar to the Hi-Fi Z, comes with a starting price exceeding the budget of the average consumer at $83,400. Subsequently, another less expensive model was introduced, the Hi-Fi Y, with a starting price of $47,150. While this price point might be appealing to Europeans, it may not attract as much attention in China due to the intense competition in the market. In January 2024, a similar situation arises with WM Motors, another EV startup currently undergoing restructuring to attract investors and restore the automaker to full operations. A court in Shanghai approved the pre-restructuring application filed by WM Motors in October 2023. The company garnered interest from several potential investors after completing debt declarations, audit evaluations, and asset verifications. After extensive evaluations, investors interested in the firm all believe that despite WM Motor facing a liquidity crisis, it still possesses significant potential in terms of market operations, technology, industrial chain, and manufacturing capabilities. Therefore, bringing it back to full operations is deemed achievable. It appears that each Chinese EV maker that has either shut down or is currently struggling shares a similar storyline. WM Motors was founded in 2015 as one of the startups aiming to achieve mass production, a common goal in the nation to reduce production costs. However, things took a rough turn in 2022 when it began encountering issues with liquidity due to sluggish sales, leading to a halt in production. NIO, one of the rapidly growing EV manufacturers, is facing sales challenges despite boasting some of the most advanced technologies in the EV industry. By the end of 2023, NIO aimed to ship 250,000 electric vehicles annually. However, in November 2023, it only managed to sell 142,026 EVs, falling short of its target by 107,974 units. NIO's chief executive officer, William Li, stated, "We have identified opportunities to optimize our organization, reduce costs, and enhance efficiency." He continued, "Management is confident in NIO's long-term competitiveness." During a results call, NIO CEO announced that the EV manufacturer would halt or reschedule initiatives that do not improve the company's financial performance within 3 years. Despite receiving about $740 million from an Abu Dhabi government-backed investment vehicle in June in exchange for a 7% ownership stake, the company is considering spinning off non-core businesses to reduce expenses. In November, NIO laid off 10% of its personnel. Additionally, in September, the company sold $1 billion worth of convertible bonds, and according to Bloomberg News, it was considering raising an additional $3 billion from investors. There are predictions that this is just the beginning of EV makers in China facing complete shutdowns. The world's largest automotive market is expected to undergo a wave of restructuring that will leave some EV makers behind due to declining sales across numerous auto groups in China. Hundreds of Chinese automakers that sprouted during the previous decade's investment boom now face an uncertain future, while some are beginning to establish themselves as household brands such as BYD, which is backed by Warren Buffett. Research firm Marklines has compiled information on about 50 domestic EV brands in China that manufacture plug-in hybrids and pure electric vehicles. However, according to UBS analyst Paul Gong, between 10 and 12 major Chinese automakers are operating on a large scale by 2030. In China's auto industry, price reductions have become the new normal, and they are unlikely to cease until smaller EV makers are forced out. One common strategy to address overcapacity in China's EV market is exporting. However, Europe's recent initiation of an anti-subsidy inquiry against Chinese EVs and US President Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, which aims to challenge China's dominance in crucial sectors, have raised doubts about the sustainability of this strategy. As for EV makers like Hi-Fi, which are on the brink of shutting down for the next 6 months, we have doubts about their future and hope that potential investors will come to their rescue if they are fortunate.